Every day Mr. Lincoln was running a campaign. Now, he had two secretaries of state, one named John and one named John. Well, they got that letter, they looked at it, they could tell the child's handwriting. First John looked at it. What is it? It's a letter from a little kid. I want to see that letter. Lincoln liked kids, but we only take letters from important people and family. Mr. Lincoln would like this letter. Talk about him growing a beard. No, yes, no, yes, no, yes. And all of a sudden, they looked up. What's going on? Mr. President, future President, Mr. Lincoln, John here got this letter just from a kid. Mr. Lincoln, I like the letter. Talk about you going to bed. We discussed that. Let me see that letter. Thank you. He went back to his office. Well, a month later, Father Papa comes in, came in the cabin. Hey, a letter for you. Look who it's from. Mr. Lincoln. She opened it. And she mentioned in her earlier letter about if he had any daughters. Dear Mrs. Benton, it was such an honor to get your letter. But do you think it'd be wise for a man of my age right now to grow a beard? I would take it into consideration, but I have no daughters. I have 3 boys, 1 16, 13, and 9. Same age as you, almost 9. But I sure appreciate your letter. I hope someday we will meet. Signed, A. Lincoln. I got a present. Oh, I got a letter. I got a letter. A few months later, the newspaper headline, Mr. Lincoln is now the President of the United States. And guess what? He's coming to my town, Daddy. He's coming to our town. But you know he's going to be busy. I want to go see Mr. Lincoln at the train station. Okay, get dressed. Well, they left the cabin, got in the wagon. They got close to town. Packed people. American flag waving. A big banner, welcome Abraham Lincoln, 16th President of the United States. Daddy. I know, honey, don't expect to see him. And all of a sudden, you hear, he's coming! He's coming! He's coming! The trains are coming! Benton looked up. All these tall people, you couldn't. Her daddy goes, stand up. I see this big tall hat. That's Mr. Lincoln. Mr. Lincoln comes up. Everybody was screaming, Mr. Bud, say his piece, say his piece. I'm honored to be here and being your president. I thank you for electing me. I don't have time to make a speech. But I talked in this little town because I have a friend here. I believe her name is Benton. Is she present? Everybody turned. Benton. Dad. They got down from the wagon. They walked toward. They arrived at the train at the bottom of the step. Benton still mid. And she heard a voice. So are you Grace? Are you Grace Benton? Yes. And all of a sudden, she felt this arm under her arm. Picked her up. Cradled her in his arm. Grace. She reached up. You grew a beard. Sure did. I don't know if it did any good or not when I got elected, but you told me I was a skinny looking thing before my beard grew. This young lady made me think, I grew a beard. I'm supposed to be more distinguished, at least I hope. At least now I know I'm the president. Well, I want to thank this young lady. Well, I gotta go, Grace. Okay, here, let me help. He set her back down.